All right, fellas, we are live on the YouTube here. Firstly, I see a comment. Let me just get it out here first and foremost. It looks like Jordan's in the chat, says, Courtland, hope you two get better soon. That shit is no joke. So let's get into it first. Before anything else, thank you for joining us for another edition of the Up and Over podcast review of AEW Rampage. I think actually this is our first Rampage done on the Up and Over YouTube. Firstly, we'll start with the sick man over there, Big Papa C. That's my man Courtland. How you feeling today, bud? All right, well, there it is. And then of course we got our Cadillac cowboy underneath me. That's gonna be my man Ethan. How you feeling, Ethan?
I'm feeling good, boys. I'm back.
I love it. I love it. I thought you were bailing on the night, but you decided not to.
When did I say I was bailing on the night?
You know what? Actions speak louder than words, and your actions are being here, so I can't say much. Fellas, we have a big old guest with us today. He is to my right, if you're watching this, the one, the only, Dr. Hunter Gwynn, in a 420 instead of PhD. We're going to go with that. That sounds good. Hunt, how you feeling today, bud?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
Hey, man, I'm good. I'm glad you're here. And, of course, I worked till 3 o'clock this afternoon. It was, of course, the shortest day of the week, and it was the longest day for me personally. You don't know how hard it is being Mike Klinsky. Fellas, we had another solid hour-long episode of AEW Dynamite. Courtland, I know you wanted to cover something before we got into it, so I'm going to give the floor to you, my friend. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I know this is a review, but I would like to softly touch on WWE's announcement of their Women's Royal Rumble. They have opened the forbidden door, what seems like forever ago they should have. And their first announcement for that is the Impact Knockouts World Champion, which is Mickie James. And it's extremely surprising that they would allow this to happen, especially since she has been with the company recently. And for them to pull the trigger on it now just feels super awkward. It feels like a desperate move on their end. And then the rest of this list of people that they have put in this, I don't have it in front of me. Mike, do you?
I do not.
There's people like, there's Summer Rae's in it, Michelle McCool and
Kelly.
Bella Twins and various other talents. And it's not to take away from those talent, but I feel like there's so many people and wrestlers that you could have had in that, and half of those are your surprises, and you went ahead and you just
laid it all out there. They just actually...
Why isn't Victoria in this list?
Yes. They actually announced...
That is an active wrestler.
They actually... they announced a male surprise participant 23 minutes ago.
It's not a surprise.
It's Johnny Knoxville.
Oh
no! I saw that.
Johnny Knoxville is officially.
Johnny Knoxville was like posting saying like, "I have this dream now to be in WWE," but it's like, is this just more of a publicity stunt because obviously the movie's coming out within the next X amount of months?
Yeah, however much time.
Happen, you know.
Jordan says
that offends me. Off rip though, sorry Jordan. That offends me because if you look at the last 3 years, David Arquette has done so much in pro wrestling to deserve that spot. He asked to be in the Royal Rumble, and they said that they didn't have room for a middle-aged actor. And you use middle-aged jackass?
I don't know,
literal middle-aged jackass. Like. It's just so shocking to me that you wouldn't use David Arquette because, like, no matter what anyone says, like, yeah, you can treat it as a joke and shit on David Arquette for being the WCW World Champion. Trust me, I don't necessarily agree with that decision either. But you as a pro wrestling fan, you're going to tell me you're offered to be the World Heavyweight Champion and you're going to say no? Fuck off. Of course you're going to say yes. Of course he said yes. And we're going to shit on him forever because somebody else's decision? Like, come on, man. That dude deserves way more than that. He deserves to be in this Royal Rumble.
I hope he's still in it. I hope we get a Johnny Knoxville and And David Arquette stared down. It's a hard time for me to say it,
What a
honestly.
statement you just made.
What an awkward sentence.
All right, well, here's the deal. Let's, you know what?
Ugh.
It's going to be a spectacle, one way or the other, in a positive or negative light. Jordan said it didn't feel genuine at all, feels very forced, only doing it because other promotions have had success with trading performers. Talking about Mickie James showing up and being announced as the Impact Knockouts champion, or whatever she was
But
announced
tell me
as.
this: how cool would it have been if she just showed up?
Just showed
With
up.
the title.
That's what exactly what I was gonna say. It'd be way cooler if they announced, "Oh yeah, by the way, Mickie James," so on and
As
so on. You know what
this.
I mean? Like,
Because my thing is, in a way, they're
it
giving
would make more
Impact.
impact. You know,
They're giving Impact more publicity by announcing it ahead of time.
Yeah.
When they could have just
Absolutely.
throw her in on the night of and been done with it after that.
And move on. That's
Because
exactly it.
Impact's the one who broke it. They're the ones who posted it first. And they posted the hard to kill flyer,
Mm.
and it said knockout world champion Mickie James set for WWE Royal Rumble. And
Yeah.
they broke it first. And it just feels weird, man. I don't know why you would choose now to finally work with Impact. When
Is it maybe
Impact
because the
has
partnership with AEW dissipated?
you already know. I was just
No,
about to say
they
it's because they finally realized the success that a small a company, I guess small in comparison to the fact it's only been in business for how many years now. You know, and look how successful that's already worked out for them in comparison to what WWE is not being successful at right now. So
Yeah, just letting go of Samoa Joe for the second time in literal calendar year. No big deal.
so
Um,
I can't even get. I don't even know how to begin that conversation.
William
honestly,
Regal
without-
was let go this week. Samoa Joe was let go this week.
Gabe Sapolsky.
What I didn't even know he was on payroll there. Honestly,
Yeah, dude. That shit blows my mind because, Ethan said in the group chat, they get this, man. They acquire Evolve's library, pay him a couple bucks, and then kicked his ass out.
Yeah, and then
so
essentially,
funny.
all right, buddy,
Same
It's so funny to
motherfucking
me.
thing they've done to everyone.
we
Yeah,
tossed you some
right,
money.
baby.
We tossed you some money. Now get the fuck out of here.
It is mind-boggling that it's oh, dude, they Heyman'd him.
They really did. And he's he was Heyman's
Yeah.
protege, right? So,
Yep.
fellas,
They're like, "Hey, man, we'll give you one event." And then,
we're not here for
I
WWE
know.
slander. We are here for one reason only. Before we jump into it, Jeff pulled up in the chat and said, "Hunt, you beautiful man." Just needed to get that out there. Fellas, we start our night at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. We start with Excalibur welcoming us to AEW Rampage, and we pretty much get straight into our action, which seems to be his thing on Rampage. He just kind of gets you into the action, which I like. You have an hour, let's bust it out. We start with Adam Cole coming to the ring for his match with Jake Atlas. And as expected, Adam Cole gets a massive reaction from the crowd. However, I am starting to realize that Rampage crowds might be a little doctored. They might do a little bit of editing on those crowds, just a tad bit to make them sound hotter than they are. Because we got a massive response for Jake Atlas, which I don't know how loud that crowd really was then. The match itself, though, was fucking great. Jake looked awesome throughout the entire match. Adam Cole does this thing where he just pulls anybody that he wrestles up with him. I did find it funny that I don't think you guys heard it because it was during, I do believe, a commercial. On the fight feed, Chris Jericho said he made a comparison to Shawn Michaels and Adam Cole. He was like, oh, he reminds me a ton of Shawn Michaels, the way he moves. And I was like, man, he did that a couple times. He made some WWE references tonight, which I actually have another note on when we get to it. But Jake hits a suplex into a powerbomb maneuver. It was just fucking super cool. It was really close near fall there. Unfortunately, Jake blows his knee out on a springboard that was countered with a super kick. And then Adam Cole goes for the Panama Sunrise as the finish, but I guess Jake couldn't really rotate, and so they really improvised on the fly. And you could see how much Adam Cole cares about the people he's in the ring with, man. He grabbed his leg so gingerly, put him in a knee bar, and got him the fuck out of there.
he
Safe and sound.
it out.
Yeah, so Cole wins with a knee bar here. I gave it a 3-star, man. I enjoyed the match. I thought it was good, and I really thought that it was going to deliver in the finish if Jake didn't get hurt. Ethan, what'd you go here?
2 3/4. I mean, I thought it was great. You don't want to make Cole look weak against somebody who's relatively unknown to the majority of your audience. So I loved how he'd just work him down. Then Atlas will have a flurry, and Cole shuts it down. Atlas will get another couple moves in. Everything Atlas did looked great. I mean, I think despite the injury, I think he comes out of this looking just fine. I mean, a lot of people aren't really going to know who he is, but I think he showed up good here and got some good spots in. So, yeah, I thought it was a really good match, 2 3/4.
Courtland.
I gave it 3 stars, man. I enjoyed this match. I wish that the injury didn't happen. Obviously, you never want to see someone get hurt. But man, there's really cool spots in this match. There's a spot that Jake Atlas does a springboard that Cole catches into a backstabber. That looked fucking awesome. Yeah. Just the way that Jake Atlas sat down with it looked super clean. I really enjoyed a lot of spots in this when it came to commentary. They were saying how they were in the same company, they've been in the same buildings for years, never faced one-on-one, and they're finally doing it immediately as Jake Atlas walks in the building for AEW. And even though they haven't faced one-on-one, you can tell how much these two have studied each other. They genuinely have worked. You can tell that they've worked in that mold, right? So them coming together here to do it, it feels organic to them. It's super easy because it's kind of just like flipping on that switch of I just got to wrestle how they would have made you wrestle there. And we're going to have a good match based off of what we were shown there in this small niche group, right? Because there's a formula there. And I feel like when people are stuck in that formula for so long and they leave and go somewhere else, when you meet back up with one of those people, you kind of fall back into that without even trying,
Yeah, and
it's kind of just like the mold that they made you.
The formula that they have is good, right? Let's not take that away.
But yeah, man, it's 3 stars. I hate what happened. I love how professional Adam Cole is. Like you said, just taking care of the person he's with always. And it just makes both of them look fucking great. And I can't wait for Jake Atlas to come back and people to really get behind him. He's a great talent.
For sure. Hunter, we've reached our time. This is a very important one because if you watched the Dynamite episode that we did a couple days ago, your friend Zach Liller was on here, Hunter, and he rated the Bryan Danielson Hangman Page match a 3.5 star. I verbally berated him.
Oh, you're gonna kill that man.
As did the chat. So Hunter, this is an important one. Not as important as that, but it is important. What did you give this match?
The match tonight?
Yes.
I was really excited with it. I thought it was going somewhere, but then obviously the injury happened, so you can tell that it was a real quick finish, you know what I mean? So I don't know, I'd go with a solid 3. I wouldn't give it anything more or less because it was building up and then you realize it had to stop because it wasn't just
a normal match.
Yeah. It got taken out of where it was,
I got
had more insight to throw into it, but I liked how it was building up and you can clearly tell people were gravitating towards Atlas, you know what I mean? So it's the beginning of something special for that guy.
Absolutely. And then of course you have Adam Cole deliver.
As it is to get an injury, so
yeah, man, they had that crowd in the palm of their hands.
They did.
Yeah, it was good.
They did.
Yeah, they worked it awesome where they didn't just have Atlas come out and start hitting a bunch of shit on Cole or just have Cole beat him down. They just, like I said, the way they did it with Cole would work him down and then Atlas wowould fire up. It made all his spots. It grabbed everybody there and got him into it.
It was cool.
After the match, we get a pre-tape. They announced that Cody tested positive for COVID. They didn't really announce that, but that's kind of the thought.
Yeah, that's what
is that he tested positive for COVID. So Dustin is stepping in to face off against Sammy Guevara tomorrow for the interim TNT Championship. Firstly, interim TNT Championship is a very unique thing, but I'll go with it.
Yeah.
We get a pre-tape from both men. Dustin says that he's going to make the most of the opportunity that presented itself. And Sammy Guevara said, I could give a shit less who's in front of me. I'll be walking around with the gold tomorrow night. Ethan, what do you feel about that match, man?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, if I'm going to be honest, I'm more interested in Cody and Dustin for the third time if Dustin wins than I am another Cody-Sammy match, as much as I hate to say that, because, I mean, you need to keep building Sammy, but Sammy's already a star, and the story writes itself. I mean,
Mhm.
Sammy, why they don't normally do rematches anyway for titles much in AEW, so it's kind of weird to me they just said, all right, let's do a rematch real quick with Cody and Sammy, because there's the first match they had was good, but is there much of a story left there to tell? You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah, it was good, but it wasn't great.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of hope Dustin wins, to be honest.
Absolutely. That's how I feel about him. I love Dustin Rhodes, obviously. I'm a huge Dustin Rhodes mark. And I'm really bummed that I'm not going to be in Charlotte to see it tomorrow. Because Dustin's one of those people that I've always want to see in a one-on-one championship match live in person. Because I believe that Dustin is one of the greatest old school storytellers that we have left. So to miss that tomorrow is a huge bummer. But I would love to see Dustin take this and we get that Cody and Dustin again. And people want Cody to go heel. The way to do it is let Dustin get this W. Let him run that back. Let's have that 5-star match again, because I don't know how y'all rated that match, Cody and Dustin at Double or Nothing. That is a 5-star spectacle, brother. And I would love to run that back, man. I think there's so much more meat on that bone that they could chomp at. And great things, dude. I hope that match exceeds my expectations.
And Dustin deserves some gold, and I can't think of a better little time to give it to him, because nothing's going to mean more than when they run this feud back.
When was the last time Dustin had a championship? It was the Unified WWE Tag Team Championships with Stardust, right?
2013, right?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff said, yawn, both do absolutely nothing for me.
Of course they do.
And to answer your question, Courtland, I went 4 3/4 on Cody Dustin. I had to go and check, but I did go 4 3/4.
Run it back.
I will.
You'd give it 5.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Truthfully, who do you think wins that match? Just, I don't need any crazy explanation.
Sammy.
Everybody in cahoots there? Sammy?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it.
I think Dustin's going to hit it, bro. Because I mean, I don't say the setup for Cody to turn heel off of that is prime time, and that's what I think everybody is like leaning towards right now. But
yeah, it's your best bet. I feel like this is obviously no one wants anyone to be sick, but I mean, this is probably like the best thing that could have fucking happened to your career, bud. You take 3 weeks off, come back more hated than you fucking were, because everyone's gonna realize how great it was for you not to be there, and then you're going to turn heel, and it's going to be fucking great. He doesn't realize how fast those fucking boos are going to turn to cheers as soon as he hits someone that people really care about, and he turns on something. Dude, can you imagine Cody turning on Arn?
Oh, Arn would have to pull the Glock. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. This
pull
is
up to his house again.
If they pull the trigger on Dustin, I don't feel like they turn Cody heel. I feel like they turn Dustin heel just to spite the fans. It's a Cody Rhodes booking, fellas. It's a. I just ruined. We're going home, fellas. It's time to get off of here. I just ruined the whole fucking hour.
You're the Casey of this episode.
I don't think I deserve that at all. Afterwards, we get a recap of the title wins from Wednesday's Dynamite, with the Jurassic Express winning the Tag Team Championships and Jade Cargill winning the TBS Women's Championship. Tony Schiavone's backstage with Andrade. Andrade says that he doesn't have an issue with Mr. Sting, but he's confused as to why little boy Darby Allin works for Sting. His words, not mine. Andrade wants Sting on his team. He's trying to recruit him, and he says for Sting to name his price. From there, we go to the ring, and the lights turn off, and we get Hook coming out to the ring. Hopefully this match didn't bore you to the point of yawns like Ethan was yawning. There was a section of the crowd with send Hook signs, and I love it. We have Hook versus Aaron Solo, who I've been very vocal about hating that motherfucker. A few things about this match stood out to me. Firstly, Chris Jericho said, quote, "I love his Edward Scissorhands haircut. Hookamania is running wild, baby."
That's the one thing I remember.
I say it every time, man, but when Taz has a vested interest in a match, he's my favorite commentator. And every Hook match is a match that he has vested interest in. It was a pretty dominant match for it was a pretty dominant match for Hook, as Solo got little offense in. There was a "We Are Hookers" chant. There was a lot going on in the crowd for this one. Hook wins with his trademark red rum. Before I give you the rating, Ethan said that I was being Casey, and Casey put in the chat, "Hey, what's wrong with being me?" I gave this 2 3/4. I enjoyed it. I thought it was like the worst performance for a Hook match, just because there wasn't anything that I thought was of note. Like, when I have more things about commentary rather than the actual match, like, and maybe I just hate Aaron Solo a bunch. What the fuck do I know? Hunter, what'd you go here?
3.5.
I like it. I like it. You loved it.
Yeah, it was great. You know, I wasn't displeased by any means. The one thing I do remember about it was the Edward Scissorhands haircut. That definitely stuck out to me more than anything in the situation.
Yeah, I wasn't taking notes at that point. Like, I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna watch this. And that, as soon as he said it, I was like, I gotta fucking write that down, of course.
Yeah.
Ethan, what'd you go?
2 3/4. I thought it was great. I mean, it's definitely on the lower end of the Hook matches so far, but it's still great because it's just an exhibition for him, and Solo was just fine being the base for Hook to do all his shit, you know. So, and people want to see Aaron Solo and QT get beat up, so it was fun. You know, everybody was hot as fuck. So,
old QT. Yeah. And Courtland, what'd you go here?
I went 3 flat again.
The gentleman's 3.
And this time, it's because of the outside. We get to see Hook kind of deal with outside interference right now. We get to see, like, the little pieces of him selling, him just being thrown off guard. And, like, yeah, we didn't see anything new out of him, right? We just saw what works. And if what's working's working, don't try to fix it, you know? I think it's a solid match. I think it's another good chip off on the, you know, the record for him. And I mean, this is his 3rd match and in pro wrestling, period, and it's again televised. So I mean, it's hard to knock how really talented he really is, because I mean, first one could have been a fluke, right? Second one, not a chance it's a fluke. He's really good, and you still just keep putting him on rampages, right? And then once we get that Hook on Dynamite, it's gonna be, we're talking 3.5 stars and up. If they give Hook a solid 8-10 minute match, I think it'd be great.
My thing is his work is here, right? It's so small. When you go to 8 to 10 minutes, it's just a much wider range for him. But it is important to note that he is only 22 years old. He is very young. And
22 years old, and the coolest thing in 2022 so far.
Isn't that crazy?
And it might be this small, but you add selling to it, and it does get that.
He just got to figure it out, man. We'll see what happens.
He's got to sell, man.
He's got a long road ahead of him for sure. Post-match, QT Marshall comes in. He takes issue with Hook holding on to the red rum for a little long, which was to be expected after the back talk from Solo all week. But he gets dumped on his head via a head and arm suplex, and the crowd goes bonkers for it. After that, we head to the announce table where Ricky Starks announces he's defending the FTW Championship against Matt Sydal tomorrow night at AEW Battle of the Belts. This should be a fun match. I'm not like mega pumped for it, but it should be. I would assume it probably opens the card if I was a betting man. But it should be a pretty good one, man. Ricky Starks is entertaining. Matt Sydal has become a fan favorite of Ethan and I. Exclusively for his not-so-stellar debut in AEW.
Yeah, for the record, I love Matt Sydal. I've always loved Matt Sydal, but that night, me, Mike, and Donnie watched Matt Sydal come out as the Joker, and that was it the Joker, right?
Yeah, he pulled the Joker card,
and almost like, oh shit, this is cool.
Oh shit, here he comes
on the edge of our seat, and then he fucking busts his goddamn ass.
So yeah, no. Fuck.
Yeah, we all just stopped and looked at one another and we're like, well, damn.
Yeah, it was just like, oh well, he's dead.
Fire burn out
that
real
that was
fast.
also the exact moment that we realized that Will Hobbs was going to be a big deal, because he
Oh,
was
it
the
was.
first dude that checked on him. He like made his way over to him. After that, we had a pre-tape from Penelope Ford, the Bunny, Ty Conti, and Anna Jay, just recapping their match from last week's Rampage. If I'm not mistaken, Penelope Ford and the Bunny said that that match will be the reason that nobody forgets their names, which was cool. I just don't feel like that really wraps it up, though. Like that pre-tape felt like they're going to continue it, and I don't know what more you could really do. But anything y'all wanted to add to that?
No, sir.
I love that street fight, man. I've said that
Yes.
last week. It's fucking up there, man. That's a fantastic match through and through. Recommend everyone to go watch it if you haven't seen it. It's absolutely killer of a match. But yeah, I don't know where they could go with this other than Anna Jay turning on Tay Conti somewhere in this mix. I feel like it's the only way it would actually have a reason to continue. But like, I don't know why you would want to split that up. So I mean, I don't know. Whatever they're doing, they have a plan. We just kind of gotta wait and see what they're gonna move the pieces of this around. You know?
I just hope they capitalize on that fucking great match, because you know what I mean. You got more character in a way out of all of them than you ever have. You know, seeing Bunny bleed and show all that charisma and shit, and just
Bunny sold me 100% in that match, man. Because I was always on the fence with Bunny for some reason, but that match, and also Penelope Ford showed her ass off. Everyone in that match just fucking killed it, man.
They went
Can't
after
say
it.
enough great things.
Yep, it wasn't a situation of like, oh, we should try to wrestle a match. It's like, we might not be the greatest wrestlers. Let's just beat the shit out of each other and we'll make it happen. And dude, it looked great, man. It came off great. So I just don't know where you go from there. Hunter, anything you wanted to add?
The which match?
The Penelope Ford Bunny, Ty
I
Conti,
thought
Anna Jay
that
thing?
was, in my opinion, it was like I would have given it like just for the chaos like a solid 4.5. But the botch off the top turnbuckle, doing the backflip onto the
Moonsault table.
outside, it was just the moonsault just went totally wrong. Just absolutely. And then I was just like, let's take this down to a 3.5 for that one. That's about it.
a whole star.
It's all right.
I was like, and like
Whole
ruined
star
it for me,
for a
guys. I
spot.
was like so pumped, and then when it happened, I was just like,
Oh, fuck.
oh, she fucked up.
I mean, it was super scary.
I was
But
like, oh, she fucked
they
up.
played that
Like,
shit off really well.
even when Mariah, like, because Mariah watches wrestling with me, like, pretty much all the time, and whenever she sees something and she's like, oh, fuck, that was bad. Like, when she makes a comment, that's why I'm like, okay, this isn't just
That was bad. Yeah, that was bad.
It was a real reaction of someone just instantly being like, oh, fuck, that was wrong. But no, I thought it was cool as fuck, because you clearly see at the end of it, Bunny stood up, and she was fucking, like, it wasn't just a normal ass, like, oh, let's pull these thumbtacks out. Like, whenever they were down and they were going back and forth pinning each other and shit, her hands, like, it looked like a Michael Jackson glove on the bottom of her pants. It literally was, they got fucked up. It was great. Like,
when they did the tax spot, they both kind of realized that, like, I think it was Bunny who was off just a bit, and she knew to roll, and she just rolled into the tax to get more on her for the pin. And it's just little shit like that where, like, you easily could have just been like, oh, thank God I saved myself from that awful, painful spot.
No.
And you were like, I kind of fucked it up. Let me make up for it. Rub your back.
All for the fans and the gimmick, brother.
It's all for the gimmick, brother.
All for the gimmick, brother.
I love it, man. Love it.
Moving forward, we had Ruby Soho and Riho versus Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. I see Ethan immediately shaking his head. Everybody's shaking their head.
My favorite match of the night.
It was a fun match, man. You got some really cool tandem offense from Soho and Riho early on. Some great back and forth from all four women. And in my opinion, the most important thing was that Jamie Hayter looked fucking excellent in this. The faces end up winning this one, and we get some dissension after the match from Baker and Hayter. I went 3 1/4 on it. Ethan, what you got, bud?
Now you make me feel like I should bump mine up, because I wanted to go 3 1/4, but I went 3 flat initially. But this is my favorite match of the night. I mean, I love all four of these women. And just the way even if it didn't have the story of the title match and the attack on Dynamite, this match was going to be good regardless because all four of these can go.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they had, obviously the story is Britt and Jamie trying to hurt Riho before the title match. And then you got Ruby and Riho pissed about the attack. And then the finish is just perfect because now you have all that momentum going behind Riho, even though I don't think anyone really thinks she's going to win. But having that hot finish coming out of this match, I loved everything about this match. There was nothing more they could have done. They killed it. Courtland, you seem to think Riho's going to win?
I just think that if you're doing Battle of the Belts, someone's got to drop a belt. And Cody is not there to do that, right? And the tag belts were already defended on Dynamite, right? So,
True.
what other belts you got, fam?
Give me an open challenge for the tag team championships and give me Kings of the Dark Throne, you motherfuckers. Don't be cowards.
Yeah,
Don't be a fucking coward, Tony Khan, you piece of dog shit. Give me what I want.
Hey.
You get
I
all
want
worried
him to
about
pay us
the
one
things
day.
that I said. You get worried about things that I say. Open challenge to Tony Khan right now on the podcast.
Meet me in a light tube match in my backyard.
You piece of shit, let's get it done.
South Carolina.
Again for the gimmick, brother.
I'm sure Brett will let y'all go to GCW and have a match, Mike.
Cut the shit out.
I'm good.
Cut it
I'm
out.
good.
Yeah, you can go to that one spot, bro. You cut your fingers off, they'll fucking.
Oh,
pay
yeah,
50 bucks
IWA
a piece.
Deep South, brother. Just cut off a damn digit off your index finger, call it a day.
You can cut
Get you a
Tony's
digit
fingers
less
off,
and
Mike?
a slice.
Good Lord. All
I'll get you Bojangles.
right, Courtland, let's get back on topic here. God bless. What'd you go on this match here, bud?
Another 3 flat, man. This is a solid gentleman's 3 Rampage for me. It feels like.
I like it. Anything else you wanted to add past what Ethan said?
I'm really excited for Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker's separation. I think that
Inevitable.
Jamie Hayter is one of those wrestlers that people are really going to notice in 2022 if you haven't already. And who knows where Rebel lands in the middle of that? You know what I mean? And a lot of people, I feel like, forget that she's involved in this little thing. Like, she's always that person that makes the facial expressions behind the promos and in the matches. But, like, who knows where she falls? You know, is she done with Britt Baker shit? Is she siding with Jamie Hayter? Is she going to separate and do her own thing? So, like, I'm really excited for all 3 of them because we're just moving along. You know what I mean? And I feel like the best thing in pro wrestling is keeping shit going, never going stale, keeping everything new, keeping it fresh. And I think that all 3 of them are going to benefit from separating from each other. So maybe they're just waiting on Rebel to be 100% and they're going to pull the trigger on it. And I can't wait to see it, man.
I like it. Hunter.
I've been saying this shit for a solid 2 years. I've been waiting for Jamie Hayter to have her perfect moment, and I think that split between Baker and fucking Rebel as well, the whole entire situation, I think it will just be a justified moment in women's wrestling because we've only seen so much from Jamie Hayter. It's not like we haven't seen a lot of bad from her, but we haven't seen anything like mind-blowing in AEW just yet, in my opinion. So it will be cool, like, when that moment comes. But I also love Ruby's psycho ass always, you know. Like, it's always fun seeing her get upset about something and doing everything. So that match was just really fun. I enjoyed it.
I love it. What'd you give it?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm high. I'd give it a 3.
Thank you.
Sick.
After the match,
Sorry.
we get Dan Lambert, Scorpio Sky, and Ethan Page on a pre-tape backstage. They're going to be watching the TNT Championship match very closely tomorrow night. Scorpio Sky said something along the lines of, "I shouldn't even have to fight for the title. You should just hand it to me now." It just feels like they're wasting both of them with Dan Lambert at this point. I talk about it every time there's a fucking Dan Lambert segment. I just don't know where it's going to go, and it just feels long, drawn out for no reason at this point.
I agree to that completely.
All right, and then we have, Casey said, why are we still using Lambert? Because who the fuck knows? We get to our main event. We get 2.0 and Daniel Garcia versus Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz, Proud and Powerful, in a no DQ, no holds barred match. We get our backstage interviews with Mark Henry for the main event. As 2.0 and Garcia are talking, Kingston and Proud and Powerful just walk off. And they just keep jawing. They're saying like, oh, of course you didn't have anything to say. And then they get jumped by Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz in the back. And as there's chaos unfolding, Mark Henry still has to hit his line. Well, the time for talking's over. It's time for our main event. Courtland and I were actually in the Discord early, and we both kind of popped for it. Like, we both just started laughing. Mark Henry is having the time of his life doing those little segments. We cut to break, and as we come back, Kingston and Proud and Powerful are still whooping ass. This was violent pretty well the whole way through, all things considered, especially for what it was supposed to be. Kingston and Garcia look especially fucking crazy in this. We had a really good near fall after Garcia hit Kingston with the ring bell, and the crowd was really involved at that point, and they loved the kick out at 2 7/8. And our finish came when Proud and Powerful hits like a clothesline leg sweep combo. So we had the Proud and Powerful. We had Proud and Powerful and Eddie Kingston win. Ethan, what did you go on this guy?
Truthfully, I didn't see the finish, like the last 2 or 3 minutes, because I was setting up for this.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know how comfortable I am on the rating. I was thinking 2 3/4, but the thoughts I will give, I love just about everybody in this, but I've not been super hot on this little feud. It just feels I want the Kingston Garcia singles match really bad.
Mhm.
I think that will rule, but everything else has just been so chaotic. It just feels like it's been a Rampage main event for him for 3 weeks, and it's never good because it feels rushed. It's just like, all right, go, 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 go. Like tonight, the brawl to start it was cool, but nothing ever seemed to settle in. It was just like they're doing shit for a little while, and none of it. There was never a moment until I cut it off where it grabbed me really. I just want to get the Kingston Garcia singles match because I know they'll crush it, and I hope Santana and Ortiz get into something with some substance soon because they're too good to just be having these trash brawls on Rampage every week. So that's really my thoughts on it.
Holding out a rating for now?
Yeah, I'm a hold out till I'll finish it.
But I think you said 2 3/4 for what you saw.
Yeah,
so
2 3/4. I doubt it'll teeter much further up.
Yeah. Hunter, how'd you feel about that main event, my friend?
I'm not gonna act like I didn't enjoy the match, but I enjoyed the shit talking in the beginning of it, where someone screamed "suck my ass." That's one thing that I remembered. I was like, did he really just say "suck my ass" on TV? But no, it was cool. Like I definitely thought the ending of it, like there was definitely some bumps that were like pretty impressive to see still in the age of 2022 on television right now. You know, I'll give it like a solid 3.
I like it. Jeff has sent 5 messages almost in a row in all caps, and the last one was in response to Hunter mentioning the "suck my ass." He was screaming that Matt Lee was the one that said that from 2.0. Courtland, what did you go on this one? How'd you feel about it?
I went 2 3/4 on this match. I enjoyed it for what it was, but like Ethan said, it never like really boiled in. You know, we never like really set its tone. The tone was just like go, 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 go. And I get it for an hour program where you kind of just like got to get your shit in and get out. But yeah, man, I just don't understand why we did this like no DQ street fight style 6-man tag now. Like we're supposed to build to something like this, and we really only built it through random interferences and dumb promo stops. You know, like anytime Eddie Kingston had a promo, we just had 2.0 come up and say something, and now we just have a street fight. So like it just doesn't feel like it's where it's supposed to be. I'm really excited for what's going to come after this. Now that we've already got this shit out the way, moving forward, we can get Eddie Kingston in more singles matches. Hopefully, Proud and Powerful can move on and start working towards the AEW World Tag Team Championships again. Or, you know, like we were talking about earlier, Santana getting the TNT Championship run. Why not have it? You know, it's an impressive ass wrestler, and I've said it about another a tag team wrestler, Matt Jackson. Nick Jackson. Sorry.
Get it right, you son of a bitch. We love Matt Jackson here. At least I do. But Nick is a fucking king.
Nick Jackson. I would love to see Nick Jackson do a singles run. Man, oh man, how great that shit would be. But yeah, man, this match didn't do a whole lot for me. The finish felt stale. I can't really budge off 2 3/4. Hopefully it just picks up. I think 2.0 is best in its comedy routine, rather than it is its wrestling. And I hate to say that. I'm not knocking their wrestling, because it's, and I don't want to say they're a good hand, because that's also fucked up. They're definitely solid people to work with. You know, I feel like they're people that you can get in the ring with. You know, you're going to have a decent match. You're going to be safe. But like, if you watch Being the Elite, 2.0 half the time is the funniest part of that show. And it's just because they're so ridiculous of human beings that like, they're like born in a cocaine addiction and they've just lived it
right
this whole time. It's all, the man doesn't point without doing this.
He's like, you want a piece?
We're doing, you know what I'm saying, baby? And like, that shit's just awesome to me.
They're such perfect. They're perfect, like, TV jokey heels that are always going to get beat, but like they can talk. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. I really enjoy their shit. You know, they're perfect in the role they have.
Absolutely. But yeah, man, 2 3/4. Can't really say any more about this match. It didn't have a whole lot of meat on the bone.
That's fair. That's fair. I went with a gentleman's.
More rest holds.
I went with a gentleman's 3, just because it was a violent match, and I feel like they did kind of go all out. And so, you know what? Hats off to him. It would have been a 2 3/4 if I didn't love Eddie Kingston as much as I do.
I was
Simple.
Say that.
Jeff said, why are they taking so long to put the belts on Proud and Powerful?
Don't know.
Who knows, man? Do you think they're trying to go somewhere?
I don't know what they do. I don't know. I don't know.
Because I feel like that's one of the ways that you get the Briscoes over, right? Proud and Powerful.
No. Like, FTR is the only route right now for the Briscoes to get over. I
mean, I definitely want that. But why wouldn't you want to see Briscoes and Proud and Powerful on AEW programming? Like, seeing that under a good, bright light, I feel like would shine a huge light for the Briscoes. And not saying that FTR won't do that. Obviously, FTR is my favorite tag team. But, I mean, I would love to see that match. I don't know why they wouldn't pull the trigger for Santana Ortiz to have the belts yet. It's honestly very surprising.
I think them being in the inner circle unintentionally got them put in this box where once the inner circle shit cooled off, they already had so many plans for those tag belts and like so many people that had already been in the tag. It was like Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus had been solely tag wrestling for the most part, whereas Santana and Ortiz been doing all this big main event shit with the inner circle. You know, you can't really just throw Santana and Ortiz and then what are you going to do? Just let Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, who've actually been in these tag title shots and stuff, just fall. I feel like now inner circle cooled off and they didn't really think about what to do with, honestly, any of the guys after it cooled off. You know what I mean? Because like all of them are kind of, I mean, Sammy got the TNT title, but you know what I mean? There's not a lot of substance behind it. It's just like, okay, he's the champion now. Here's some defenses. You know, they just all kind of dwindled a little bit.
Dude, where the fuck is Jake?
That too, yeah. And even Jericho, you know.
Where did he go?
Who knows, fellas?
It almost makes me wish they would have fucking done some sort of actual inner circle split so there would be something going on with them guys.
They didn't want to. They wanted to loosely keep them together, which is, I think, worse for all of them.
Yeah, now it's just...
Yeah, that shit hurts. It hurts every time that any company does that to a faction. Like, there has to be a split at some point.
Casey asked, is Jake training for another MMA fight? I mean, maybe, but I don't know. Just give me him and Wardlow in that fucking stupid cage and let him actually fist fight. Like not
One
a
more
worked
time.
fight. Let him fucking fist fight.
You want a fucking Lions Den match,
Oh
bro?
man, it'd be Dan Severn, Ken Shamrock, brother. Give me what I want, brother. Guys, do y'all have anything else to add before I get us on out of here?
Nope. Just that's it.
That's it, huh? That's how you're feeling? All right. Well, just, I didn't know. So that's why I was asking. Guys,
Follow us.
appreciate you guys checking us out. If you don't subscribe to the YouTube already, please press the subscribe button. It helps us a ton. Keep in mind, we do offer a podcast on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, really wherever you find your podcasts. If you do check us out on Apple Podcasts, please give us a 5-star rating. It helps people find us a little bit better. Hunter, appreciate you joining us tonight. Follow Hunter on Twitter at Hunt Mayhem. For us, you can find our socials at Up and Over Pod on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, and from there you can find all of us. For Hunter, for Ethan, for Courtland, for Zach, who missed tonight, for Casey, for Pat. I am Mike. Appreciate you guys checking us out. Y'all enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you back here live next week.